Hey guys. Hey, thank you. Happy Thursday. Hello, Kat. How's it going? Hello. All right. Okay, guys. So, we're still on transitive and intransitive. I have a feeling that maybe now we're going to be able to. You're back! Yay! So, we spoke yesterday and the day before about transitive and intransitive verbs, okay? We spoke about what is a transitive verb. These are the ones that need an object. Yes, Cassia asked a really good question. It was about assure versus ensure and reassure. All good? Yay, you're early for class today. Awesome. She asked a really good question. So we spoke about the difference between assure and ensure. I have actually just recorded today another video about this. Hey, Amel. So I hope I'm going to be able to upload that today so you can see. Hello, Christine. Where am I based? I'm based in Spain. Where are you based? I'm going to upload this video today because I wasn't happy. Hey, hello, Eulalia. I wasn't happy yesterday when Cassia said that she was like more or less. I feel really sad when I explain something and I say, do you understand? And my students are like, more or less. It's a very bad feeling when you're a teacher and you know that you can do better. So I have spent quite a bit of time on this today. So I hope the video will be good. Maybe I will record a few videos on it because it's actually quite tricky. I can assure you there is a difference between ensuring something. Yes. Hello, Alina. What's up? So, yeah, we spoke about assure, ensure, reassure. Okay, all those videos now are on YT. Ensure versus ensure we spoke about. We compared the three of them. So they're all recorded, and if you want to look at the material again, you can. Another person asked a question, I think it was Peak Surf Bali, I think it was, mentioned about movement, but we discussed that there's no connection. I thought it would be cool if there was, but there's actually peaking. We found the old code, yeah. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Estoy muy bien. Gracias, Christine. ¿Y tú? Tired a bit? You're a bit tired, yeah? It's funny because Jairo yesterday said to me, hey, Vicky, are you okay? Like, you seem a bit tired or something. And I was like, oh my God, because I feel okay. So it's funny when a student or someone mentions, are you okay? You know, I think maybe a big thing for me is like if it's in the morning or in the late afternoon, like the time of day, and also what exercise I have done. So like yesterday I did a CrossFit class yesterday evening. So I think maybe I look a bit tireder today. So it could be that. I don't know. I think because it's quite hard, you know, to lift heavier weights. And I think you can see it in my face the next day, but I don't know. Christine, you love my eyebrows. Yes, you think so? Cool. Can we get the fireworks now? Yeah, we can. There you go. Hang on. Let's see. Yay! Fatigued. Yeah, I think so, Cole. I think just like, yeah, it depends on the day before. Like what you can see in my face. It depends on the lighting. It also depends on your hair. Having long hair, it's a disaster when you do sports because if I wash my hair like one day and then I do exercise, I think that also makes me look more fatigued. But hey, Mr. Foster, what's up? Christine, you're multilingual. Wow, even more impressive. What other languages do you speak? Well, at least I speak, at least Spanish and English, you know. What about you, Christine? What languages do you speak? Okay, so we were speaking about this, and then we spoke about what is an intransitive verb. We spoke about transitivity and the passive voice. We spoke about verbs with two objects. And then now we're on to this one. So let me just take the color away. Okay, so point number 5, this is about the same verb can be transitive and intransitive. So that's one point, and a big point for you guys who are more advanced is sometimes, depending if the verb is transitive or intransitive, it actually changes the meaning of the verb. So that's the really tricky point for C1. So this is where the topic becomes considerably more interesting. Many English verbs can function in both ways. So let's compare. We're moving next month. Here, move is intransitive. It means changing residence. Now, what about this one? Could you move the table? Here, move is transitive because the table is the object. Sometimes the grammatical change also produces a significant change in meaning. So if we go back up to this one, right? We're moving next month, so this means that we are changing house. Whereas in this one, could you move this table? It's helping me to do something. So actually, move has a different meaning. We're using the same word in English, but actually it's almost like it's a different verb. And in one case, it's intransitive, and in another case, it's transitive. So in the first example, you don't need an object, but in the second example, you do. Okay? Okay, let me see now. Let me see. Hello, Julito. Good morning. Guatemala, yeah? That's awesome. Christine, Filipino and English. Nice. I can understand basic Korean. Really? Yeah, I'm learning Portuguese at the moment, Christine. So I also love languages. Okay, Mr. Foster. Yeah, how can I adjust it? Like, does it need to be smaller? Or what? Oh, my phone almost fell. How should I move it? Make it smaller or what? Because when you say adjust, I have no idea what you mean. Like, how do I need to adjust it? Is that better? Zoom in. Call no. I'm not gonna zoom in. I do remember. How am I gonna forget that? Okay. I can adjust, no problem, Mr. Foster, but you need to tell me like how I need to adjust it. Christine, what dialect of English? I mean, I guess it's European English. Okay. Thanks, Christine. Move here means the table somewhere else, like to another area of the building. Yeah, exactly. Eve. Hello, you're in Paraguay, Eve? Yeah? I was working in Paraguay, Eve, for a short period. I was in Asunción, in Baño do Sur. Argra, hi. You're B2? Awesome. Move it a little bit right. That's all. It's perfect now? Awesome. Okay, cool, Alina, thanks. Now it's great. Thanks, Mr. Foster. Awesome. Argra, you're in Costa Rica? Nice. Indonesia, that's cool. No speak good English? Well, if you stay here, maybe you'll improve a bit. Julito, I'm new here. You have conversation classes. Yes. Guys, there are conversation classes open, but only for B2 and C1. I have loads of messages about lower levels, but I'm not opening classes for those yet. If you have B2 or C1 and you want to join one of the conversation classes, send me a message. Okay? I haven't been, Orion, I haven't been to Peru, but I would really like to go sometime. Really, really. Machu Picchu. El Chico Tímido. Saludos desde Ecatepec. Where is that? Ecatepec. I've never heard of that place. Let's check where it is. Ecatepic. Ah, Mexico. Nice. You're near Mexico City. That's awesome. Near the F. That's so cool. Ecatepec, guys, is down there, if anybody wants to know. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Saludos. Christine, speaking to watch. Okay. Saludos. Nice. Rojo. I'm from Madagascar, yeah? Good morning, El Chico. Probably I'm B2, but I need to improve my fluency. Hi from Italy. Hello, Mirko. Could you go into a bit more detail about the conversation classes? About the conversation classes, yeah, everybody's asking for conversation classes. So I have put 2 on. I have conversation classes, but I opened 2 more. 2 of them now are full. So there's 1 left for B2 and 1 left for C1 for September. They're on maximum 4 people per class. So if you want to join one of the classes, you can send me a DM. What are they like? It's just conversation classes so people can improve their fluency. Okay. Hi, Becky. So number 5, the same verb, yes. Here move is transitive. The table is the object. So sometimes the grammatical change also produces a significant change in meaning. Consider run, right? So Tarek runs every morning. So obviously this is physically running. No, this is like doing exercise. E-R-C-I-S-E. Doing exercise. Intransitive, run. Move quickly on foot. So you don't need an object. Don't need an object. In this case. No, I run every morning. Tarek runs every morning. But look at this one. She runs a multinational company. In this case, run means to manage. And to run equals to manage, not to do exercise. And in this case, it does need an object. So she runs a multinational company. That's the object. In that case, transitive run means to manage or to operate. These are not simply two grammatical structures, they represent two meanings of run. So it's almost, okay, run looks the same, R-U-N, but it's almost like two different verbs. Okay, so one of them is transitive and one of them is intransitive. Christine, I'm still learning English. I want to be more fluent like a native. That's awesome. That's awesome, Cole. I didn't know. That's cool. So who talks to whom there? Do your students talk to each other while you give some feedback? I speak with everybody, and some we discuss a topic together, and we debate a topic, share our ideas, listen to each other, comment on what the other person is saying. Yeah. Cole, multinational is a company operating in more than one country. Exactly. Good job, Cole. Yeah. Run means operate. Yes. Good job. Okay. So number 6. Leave. So leave provides another excellent example. For example here, they left at 3 o'clock. Exactly, Cole. Yeah, software needs to run smoothly. That's another meaning of run. In my previous class today, we were discussing phrasal verbs with run and all of the meanings of run. Actually, maybe I will check the book. Hang on. And I can tell you guys for fun all of the meanings that we were doing of with run. Hang on, because there's quite a few. Yeah. So for example, run can mean flow, manage, go, do, or work. And then we were doing the phrasal verbs like run down, run over, run in, run on, run into, run up against, run out of, run through it, run on, run into. So that's a lot. It's pretty cool. We can use run for a lot of... You missed the classes? Yeah, we're happy to have you back. We missed you too. Mr. Foster, and do you correct the students when they make mistakes? Yeah, I correct the students, yeah. Not excessively. Nobody feels uncomfortable, you know, but yeah, we do discuss mistakes and better ways to say things, yeah. Or are the C1 student not supposed to make students... Oh my goodness. Are C1 students not supposed to make significant mistakes? I mean, that's not my philosophy anyway. I think any student at any time can make a mistake. God knows plenty of native English speakers make plenty of mistakes all the time, which for me is quite funny to see, you know. Cole, if you don't get the feedback, you cannot improve. Yeah. So we do. Slip-ups, yeah. You make slip-ups. There's a big difference between an error and a mistake. An error is something that you're doing all the time, but I try to organize them, you know, like if there's a lot of mistakes with prepositions, we can stop and speak a bit about prepositions, different uses, you know, but I don't target people, and anybody can make a mistake whenever they want. And I also don't believe that like a C1 student can never make a mistake with the verb to be. I think that's preposterous, you know, that C1 students can only make this mistake and that mistake. And some teachers say, oh, you're not C1 because you made a mistake with the third person. is completely ridiculous, you know. George Sand, hello, good evening. Thank you, Christine. The worst for me is read. Can be said like read and sometimes read. Yeah, totally. Christine, I can hear Irish accent. You're right, Christine, I'm Irish. Very good catch. Well done. Yeah, I'm Irish. 100%. So, leave provides another excellent example. They left at 3 o'clock. Okay, so in this case, it's intransitive and it means depart. But this one, she left her documents at reception. This is like she forgot. Okay, so in this sentence, leave means depart. Depart equals, sorry, we're going to say here, look, leave. In this case, equals depart, and depart is intransitive, right? But in this one, leave means forgot, which is transitive. Okay? So transitive, put or accidentally forgot something somewhere. She left her belongings on the bus. They were put into lost property. Very nice. Well done. Good one. Compare. You have to leave, okay? Or you have to leave your bicycle here. The first means you must go. The second means the bicycle must remain. The addition of the object fundamentally changes the interpretation. Okay? Next one, call. I'm going to put this down on the same page so it looks better. Yes. Okay. Next one, call. Call demonstrates an even greater difference. Okay. In this case, I called yesterday. No object. But nobody answered. So I called yesterday, but nobody answered. Here, call is intransitive in the sense of making a telephone call or visiting, depending on the context. Guys, call can also be to visit, in case you didn't know. Look, I could also say, I taught this yesterday to someone, and they were, to Anna. On Tuesday, we had class, and she's a very good student, and she thought, what? Call means visit? Look, I could put this here. I called yesterday, but nobody answered the door. Okay? I called yesterday. So in this case, call means visit. Okay? Okay, Alina, awesome. That's cool. So here, call is intransitive in the sense of making a telephone call or visiting, depending on the context. Cold calling, Cole, yeah! Guys, does everybody know what cold calling is? Cole, you always say like the best, you make the best contributions. Cold calling, right? As in sales. Guys, if you're very advanced, you can quickly look up what cold calling means, okay? Really good vocabulary there from Cole. Christine, yay, I've watched a couple of Irish movies, such as Derry Girls. You watch Derry Girls? That's difficult to understand. And How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. Oh, I don't know that one. How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. I haven't... Is it a movie or a series? Yeah, I was giving an example with leave. Sorry. I'm going back, Alina. I thought you were leaving early. I thought you were saying, yeah, okay, never mind, I'm going back. Alina said, I have to leave work early, so I'll leave you a message. Yeah, I have to leave work early. Very good. So I'll leave you a message. Perfect. Well done. Nice one. Really nice one. I didn't catch that. I thought you had to leave. George Sand. At first, this person forgot his documents. And secondly, he called nobody. I think you have a typo there, George Sand. At first, this person forgot his documents. But then somebody called him to tell him. Calling around the unfamiliar numbers. It's calling to try to sell something to someone without them having asked for the call. Christine, do you have any recommendations? Christine, you'll have to tell me more about Have you seen Peaky Blinders? A lot. If you understood Derry Girls, then you might understand Peaky Blinders with Cillian Murphy. I think. Hello, Arena. Good to see you. User 19. What an unusual accent. Where are you from? I'm Irish. George Sand, okay. I mean series. It's a series, yeah? I haven't heard that series, eh? How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. It sounds good. It sounds really good. I should write that down. You should watch that. Yeah? Hang on. Let me add it to my list of series here. I literally have it here. How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. Awesome. I'm going to check it, okay? That's really cool. I have a list here, 2 series people recommended yesterday to practice my Portuguese, but that would be a really nice one. Call to Nobody. Call to Nobody, George Sand. But he called to nobody. I'm not sure what you mean in your sentence there, George Sand. Could you rewrite it? Tell me again, because I'm not sure what you want to tell me. Hello, Dima. An unexpected promotional sales pitch. Yes, exactly. Awesome, Cole. Oh, I see. User 19, yeah. Hi, Scarlett. Khalifa. Hey, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Is it? You like my voice? That's awesome. Cool. Call it a day, Alina. Yeah. Call to arms. Oh, my goodness. La Chiricana. Hi there. Nice to see you. I'm new here. My name is Anna. Hello, Anna. Where are you from, Anna? South America, maybe? Okay. So, Cecilia, Argentina. Hello, Cecilia. That's awesome. Kai Basha Dianda. What language is that? I'm not sure. All right, Christine. Oh, thanks. I've been seeing Peaky Blinders. Yeah, that a lot on my FYP and rec goes on every. Yeah, I would watch Peaky Blinders. Nguyen Nguyen. Hello. Hello. You're from Panama. Awesome. Khalifa. I'm from North Africa. Libya. Awesome. Malaysia. Cool. Sajida. Awesome. Hello. Okay. I was in Malaysia 2 years ago for New Year's, the start of 2025. I was in Kuala Lumpur. Melodia, how much it costs to be in your class, that's what he means. Ah! Okay, but the classes are not for beginners, guys. There are no beginners classes, okay, right now. You need to have at least level B2. Okay, they're not for beginners. I don't have any classes for beginners. But all of the prices are on my website. The question from Kai says, how much money do you have for learning a language? Ah, okay, thanks, Cole. What language was it? Khalifa, are you vegan? Am I vegan? Why do you think I'm vegan? Khalifa, can you tell me, why would you ask me that question? I'm really curious now. Sammy, hi. Call one's name, Mr. Foster. Yeah, Melody, Indonesian? Okay, it's Indonesian, all right. Thank you for visiting Malaysia. I'm enjoying listening. Yeah? Yeah, we had a good time. It was really cool. The accommodation was really nice. Okay, so she called him an incompetent fool. She called him an incompetent fool. So in this case, call plus object plus competent. So this is so she's calling him a name. Okay, she's saying you are a fool, you are an idiot, or you are a great person, you are something. So she's telling him he is something. Compare this to I'll call tomorrow. Or they called the proposal completely unrealistic. The second structure means they characterized or described the proposal in that way. And obviously this means to use a phone or to visit. So it's almost like a totally different verb. And then one has an object and one doesn't. Okay, on to the next one. Manage, to manage. Christine, I want to learn Irish accent too, and I'm going to use it when I'm annoyed. Yes, when you're annoyed. Why when you're annoyed? You're from Japan. I really want to visit Japan a lot. User 1921, you sound funny. Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? A bit fiendish to my ear. Really? Okay, Khalifa, everyone I met from Ireland was vegan. Vegetarian. Everyone you met from Ireland was vegetarian. That's interesting. I was actually, when I was born, when I was a small child, I wanted to be vegetarian. I have a younger brother, he's a lot younger than me, and he always remembers that I either wanted to be vegetarian or was vegetarian. And I had a period where I was vegan also, but I'm not now. Cool, you're getting a lot of comments on your accent today. Yeah, a lot of comments on the accent today. It's funny. Don't know why. But it's funny, it's cool to know because I think I can't observe my own accent. Nguyen Nguyen, have you ever been to Vietnam? Yes, I have. I was there at Christmas. I was in Hanoi, Cat Ba, Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh. We went to the tunnels. Yes, it was awesome. Love Vietnam. Mr. Vajan, what was your reasoning to be vegetarian being a child? Because I love animals. And for me, it was like I couldn't imagine eating an animal. It was very hard for me. I also think your favorite color is green. You think my favorite color is green? Why do you think that? Guys, can anybody guess my favorite color? If you can guess my favorite color, I will give you a free English class in the next 30 seconds. If anybody can guess my favorite color in the next 30 seconds, I will give you a free English class. 20 seconds, 25 seconds. What's my favorite color? 20 seconds. Baby. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You think my favorite color is purple? No, nobody ever guesses my favorite color. Nobody ever guesses my favorite color. That's very funny. Okay, guys, 30 seconds is over. Oh, Alyssa, you got it. But 30 seconds is over. Electric. Khalifa, yellow. What is it? It's orange. My favorite color is orange. It's been my favorite color since 2013. Since 2013 or 2012, my favorite color has been orange. I know you guessed it, but I think I had told you already my favorite color. I'm sure I mentioned it and you remembered. I don't believe that I'm sure you must have known that before, which is cheating. Okay? You guessed it, Christine, but time's up. Yeah. It's orange. Love orange. But orange is the favorite thing. What are you doing now on TikTok? What do you call this? Okay. So, number 8, manage, right? Manage can also function both ways. So, for example, you think electric is better. Electric blue, George Sand. By the way, did you know that color is the least favorite color? Yes, Alyssa? I didn't know that. That's so... Really? I didn't know that. Anna Marie, hello. The finish says maybe next time. Maybe next time you can guess. Yeah, maybe next time you can guess. Maybe I will think of some more challenges, and whoever wins the challenge, we can do a free English class, no? That could be fun. That could be really fun. Yes, and I read that this week. Yeah? What a coincidence. You read it this week. Okay, Anna Maria. Anna Maria, if you can think of a good challenge that we can do together, and then the prize can be in free English class or something, you can send me a DM if you can think of a good idea. Do, Alyssa, look for the article. Send me the article, because I like things like that. Khalifa, you think I like cats more than dogs. Why do you think that? I think that's interesting. The impression that you give people is really curious. I wonder why you think I like cats more than dogs. Okay, I'd love to ask everybody, but we should continue. Cole, you have an example of manage? Yeah? Okay, so here manage is intransitive and means succeed in coping with a difficult situation. Versus, that's one. She manages a team of 20 engineers, right? Don't worry, I'll manage is one. This means to cope. And this is the second example. She manages a team of 20 engineers. So here, manage is transitive and means control, organize, or be responsible for something. And Cole said the Christmas shift was always highly stressful, but the incentive made me manage. The incentive or the commission, Cole? Because what was the incentive? It would be the commission, no? The commission made me manage, or the incentive made me or helped me manage, maybe? I think would it be a commission, like you got paid extra or something for working at Christmas? Let's compare. Can you manage, or can you manage the department while I'm away? Okay, so in this case, it's take responsibility for, and you need an object. Whereas the first one is to cope. Okay, to cope with a stressful situation. To cope with a difficult situation. No object. Okay. The first asks whether someone can cope. The second asks whether someone can take responsibility for something. Okay. George Sand, yes, I can manage the deck. Okay, the department deck, nice, of the ship, no? You're speaking about George Sand? Yes, you can manage it. Okay, very good. Number 9, there's only 10 points now, so we're nearly finished. Missing objects. So this is a very common advanced learner mistake. The exercises in your book highlight an important problem. Learners sometimes omit an object after the verb. Okay, so learners sometimes omit an object after the verb. For example, assure requires a person. So we were studying this yesterday and it's on the TikTok. Hopefully I will post today. You have to say like, I assure you, I assured him, the manager assured the team. Handle can be to, let me see, Irina, up here again. Can you handle? You could put handle here, but you'd have to say, can you handle the situation? Okay. Can you handle the department while I'm away? Yes, you could say it here. Can you handle the department? Yes, you could. Good job. That's a really nice one. That's a really nice one, actually, Irina. To handle can often be a synonym. Yes. Nice one. Really good one. Good job. Yeah. So I can assure you that the matter is being investigated. Tell also normally requires a recipient. Let me go down here a second. Yeah. So assure always requires a person. So yeah, you can't say for example, you can't say I assure that the matter is being investigated. No. Okay. You have to say I assure you that the matter is being investigated. Let me see. Omit equals ignore. No. Omit means to eliminate or to skip. Cole. Yeah. To leave out. Mr. Foster, rest assured. Very good. Christine, what app are you using, by the way? I'm not using any app. This is just my notes and TikTok. I split the screen. Can you cope? Yes. I can cope just about with the comments and the notes. Keep under control. Very good. Hello, Anna. Assure. Irina, do you have a question about assure? Alyssa, sorry, I couldn't find the article that I read, but this is something near to that. Okay. You can send it to me on DM, I think, Alyssa, because I think on TikTok we can't send links in the chat, I think. At least I can't. Mamadi Cone. Hello, everything's okay. How are you? All rest assured. I don't think we said all rest assured. The matter has been resolved. Very good. Yeah. Assure, to be sure. Assure means to guarantee. Alyssa, great. Awesome. Okay, cool. Irina, assure means to guarantee. To be sure is more like ensure, isn't it? That's what we discussed yesterday, right? To assure is to give someone the confidence that something is going to happen. But it's very to give someone certainty. Yeah, to give someone certainty that something is going to happen. There is also reassure. Yeah, Cole, we did yesterday. We spoke about reassure yesterday. Acho Minang, I need window dating. What's window dating? Is that a new trending term? I don't know what window dating is. Ajo. Ajo means garlic in Spanish. Ajo Minang. You weren't here yesterday, Irina? No? Cassia asked a lot of really good questions about assure and reassure. we spoke about them a lot. Okay? He said widow, not window. Widow. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Cole. Widow dating. Oh, yeah, thank you, Alina. Widow. I don't know. Widow dating. What's this? Like that, you should use Tinder or Hinge or something, no? We are not a dating live chat. Not for any type of dating, least of all widows. But okay. Stranger things have happened. Date Black Widow. Oh my god, a Black Widow, like the spider. All rest assured, this is English class, yes. People say the funniest things, you know? Okay. Tell also normally requires a recipient. Wiki, where are you from? My sister used to call me Wiki before she could speak properly. Manimal, I'm from Ireland. Mr. Foster, shall we get back on the beaten track? Hello, Boris. Okay, back to the beaten track. Cole, I can give you a date, Thursday, 20th of August. That's today. Okay, but will it be with window or face to face? I think he's looking for something face to face. Oh, at the weekend, somebody, one of the DMs I got was, can you come to my house to give me English class? And I said, no, I only do online English classes. And they said, if you come to my house, I will give you a lot of money. So, okay. I know, Cole, yeah. Anna Maria, lol. I will give you a lot of money. Okay. Cool. Okay, here I come. Anyway, weird way to propose. Email. Hello, Saska. Attractive proposal, I know, super attractive. Class, yeah. A lot of class there. Anyway, could you tell me where I can find the relevant information? Okay, so in this case, we have tell with the object. We spoke a lot about this. Oh yeah, Irina, the videos from yesterday, there were 2 classes yesterday, 2 short classes, and they're on YT now. If you look at there's a playlist for C1 vocabulary, it's included there. You can find it under transitive and intransitive. Okay? Now, allow requires an object before a to infinitive in this structure. For example, these techniques will allow you to perform more effectively in the exam. Introduce, another one, introduce requires the people being introduced. For example, she introduced me to several of her colleagues. Wish also requires an object. In expressions such as, we wish you the best of luck. At C1, these errors matter because the overall sentence may sound sophisticated while still containing a fundamental structural mistake. Look, depends on your examiner, depends on the person. I wouldn't obsess about it. Again, I work with people who have level C2 or they're bilingual, and they make these mistakes sometimes. It's not a problem. I did my master's degree. Most of my teachers were Spanish, and they did some of the classes were in English. And my teachers at university levels were making grammar mistakes with English. It's not a problem. For me anyway, it's not a problem. I understood perfectly. They gave the classes perfectly. They were highly qualified university lecturers, and they still made some mistakes with prepositions, with putting the object or not putting the object. It's fine. It's true, some people can be really anal about this, but avoid these people. Let me see. I don't want to miss any of these guys here. Could they pay in advance, Anna? The guy pay in advance. I should tell him that. Next time I will send him my IBAN number. Say here you can send the money to my account. Hasn't got much class, asking over DMs. Lol. Yeah, Cole. 0 class. Honestly. Hema, hello! How can we memorize all this kind of rules? Hem, I think the best thing to do is practice. When you're speaking, You need to just practice. And if you can practice, well, okay, I'm a teacher, but if you can practice with someone who has some knowledge of English grammar, or in your case, a high level, and they can say, hey, Hema, you forgot this in this case, but you have to produce it. Just having it going around in your head, it can make you crazy. Because people say to me, Vicky, I was in my house and I was thinking about this and I don't know if it's correct or not. You have to be producing the stuff, not memorizing it, just like try to reproduce it and see if it works. See if it works for the person you're speaking to. All right. Okay, Irina, awesome. Christine, which platform do you teach classes? Zoom? I have different platforms. Honestly, a lot of my classes are on Google Meet or on WhatsApp video on my laptop and my student's laptop. Depends on my student. Those are the two things I use mostly day to day. Cole, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Perfect. Anna, do you also work with B2? Yeah, Anna, I do B2 and C1. I just opened 2 new classes for B2 and C1. No one is perfect, Mr. Foster, totally. And no situation, place, or circumstance either. Irina, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And one day you make more, one day you make less. When I come back from Ireland, or when I come back from a country where I was speaking more English than Spanish, the first week I come back, I make more mistakes in Spanish. When I'm tired, I make more mistakes. When I'm stressed, like I don't get too stressed, I make more mistakes, like, you know. George Sand, it's not a problem at all. Even presidents make mistakes in English. Absolutely they do, totally. Christine, I'm such an annoying police grammar. Grammar police, you're the grammar police, yeah? Cole, or watch these on demand, become more familiar. Yeah, and become more familiar. Watch these on demand. Hema, Grady, thanks. Yeah, okay, cool. George said many people from our country can't use intransitive verbs. Yeah, really? I don't know which level my English is, Cole. Yeah, I think your level is almost native. Cole's English could be better than my English, I think. Christine, WhatsApp, really? You teach there? Yeah, I do. But I think Gmeet will work better for me. Yeah, it depends on the student, you know, but I use Google Meet a lot. Who do I use WhatsApp for? Depends on the student, eh? And a lot of my students, because they're working, like I have a student, he works sometimes from Barcelona and sometimes from Dubai, okay? And sometimes he doesn't want to have his class in his house and he can answer the telephone from anywhere. We have had class in a taxi, when he's driving the car, he was just finished running, you know, and he's like walking around the Burj Khalifa, for example, with the WhatsApp, having his English class, and this giant building is in the background. You know, and other people, maybe they, you know, depends on their life. I've had class at the airport. I've had class from the hospital. Where else? Other weird places have I had classes from? Like crazy. A lot of them in the car, a lot of them in the taxi. Because my students are working, you know. They're working, they're living their life, they're traveling. And obviously most of it is in like under normal circumstances. But in those cases, if my student can't be on their laptop, and they have to be on their phone, we use WhatsApp video, obviously. Julita, how much do your classes cost? Julita, you can look on my website. Everything is on the website. Okay? The group classes are cheaper. They're a lot cheaper. Okay? Thanks, Cole. Yeah. When I get stressed, I can't focus on anything at all. Yeah, Irina, exactly. That's why it's another skill to just like stay calm when you're speaking in your second language. I'm like this now because I have been insulted so many times speaking Spanish that now I just don't care. So if I feel I'm becoming stressed, first of all, I think this person is making me stressed. Why am I interacting with this person? That's my first thought. And then second, I think, okay, Vicky, calm down, because it's actually, what is the point? Why am I getting stressed? Why is this person so important that I am becoming stressed? You know, and who are they to make me uncomfortable speaking in Spanish? You know, Cole, maybe I will be an English teacher. You could be an English teacher. You could shadow me. I could shadow you, I think. Christine, oh my God, he's such a busy guy. That's so funny. Yeah. weird classes. Weird, that is fun, you know. And yeah, a lot of people just, and sometimes if somebody's running late, because my classes, they start on time and finish on time, I can't wait because I usually have another class. So maybe if someone's late, they will call me on the phone, and then when they get home, we will switch to Google Meet or switch to the computer, you know. George Sand, oh, okay. So random places I've had class from, yeah. And don't forget about the schedules. Totally. Let me see. Hema. For that, I will recommend, as she says, calm down. Conscious breathing helps a lot. Yeah, exactly. Hema and George Sand, breathing. Period. That's a really great thinking teacher. Yeah. Comes from experience, I think. Just nice. I can't understand Chinese. Can you write that in English? Just nice. Write your comment in English if you can. Can I translate it here? I can't. I see translation. I want to learn, but I don't understand. Okay. Hema. But most of all, just don't care lol about what someone who just wants to bother you. Guys, I can tell you a lot of stories about this, you know, like, hello Raphael. A lot of stories. Before COVID, I was working like face to face, and I had one class at one part of the city, and I needed to cross to the other part of the city for the next class. And I literally had like 30 minutes, and I needed to eat something. So when I was walking, I ran into a bar, a tapas bar, and I asked for like a coffee maybe and a tapas, okay? So I wolfed down, I know you shouldn't do this, but I wolfed down the tapas and the coffee. And then I said, okay, can I pay? And the waiter said, it's already paid for. How is it paid for? And then I'm like looking like, and then I looked, and a man that I know, I taught his son in the past, he had paid for my lunch, my tapas, okay? So of course I thought, sugar, I like that you like that, Cole. You saw that? Yeah, wolf down. So I thought, my God, I'm so late, but it was really nice, Hema, yeah, but I thought, I'm so late, I need to go. I'm on time, but I need to go. But I thought, yeah, I have to go to say thank you to this man. So this man was having lunch with obviously a friend of his, another gentleman. So I was like, they don't speak a word of English. So I'm like, hola, buenos dias, like, hello, good day, like, thank you so much for paying for my lunch. It's really nice, good to see you, blah, 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 all in Spanish. And his friends, he introduced me to his friend. Hello, Vicky, this is whatever. And I said, hello, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And his friend is like, oh, nice to meet you. How long have you been living in Spain? And I was like, I've been living in Spain. Maybe at that point it was like 7 years. And he said, oh, 7 years and you still have an accent? And I'm like, oh, fuck off. Like, yeah, yes, I still have an accent, you know. I'm like, okay, and what about your accent? You know, how's your English? God, like, yes, I still have an accent, you know. So, yeah, I still have an accent, you know, stupid me. Yeah, but after I said, okay, people who don't speak several languages, or people who never learned a language after the age of 15, they have no knowledge of this, you know, so you need to be understanding and not take it personal. Care. He wrote that he wants. Thank you, George Sands. Wolf down, eat greedily, quickly, like inhale the food you've had, it's so fast, exactly, yeah. That's it, bad timing. If I meet you in the street, I'll pay for your lunch. George Sand, you're so sweet. This is not the first, this happened another time recently as well. I went for dinner, and we had like wine and everything, and I wanted to pay, and they're like, it's already paid for, and I was like, what the hell? But it was quite funny. Sweet, another sweet person. Cole, you can't imagine me swearing. When I say it, I know that people can't imagine it. Mr. Foster was also shocked. You know, in Ireland, people swear a lot. I generally don't swear. I only swear if I think my students who are adults and all over 18 are going to appreciate it. And I mean, what I mean by appreciate it is when I'm teaching, and if I know that my students want English for life or for work, I'm going to try to speak and say things that they're going to hear in real life. Me personally, I avoid swearing. And especially because I've worked for so many years with small children and teenagers who copy everything I do and say, I don't swear. Only in this particular case, I let one rip just so you guys could see this word in action. Because a lot of adults ask me, Vicky, how can I use swear words and how can I understand, you know? So, and also I'm not working in a school now, I work for myself, so I can say what I want to say. But I strategically used that call and only for teaching purposes, okay? I do not believe in swearing, but I accept that it's useful to know how to if you need to, right? Flavio, you have a Brazilian accent? That's awesome. Cool. Anna Maria, so rude. I think he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it, you know? This man has no idea the time it takes to learn a second language. And obviously that an accent doesn't disappear. My goodness, you need to learn a language before the age of 14 to not have an accent. After the age of 14, 16, you're going to have an accent, and that's all, you know? And it's fine. And some, you know, if you are Spanish or if you are Irish, you're going to have a stronger accent than if you are Polish, you know? And that's just the way it is. And it's fine, you know? Eulalia, yeah, it's normal. I can tell you a lot of stories about this. Now I'm older and I am very experienced, so I can help myself, no, and I can recover fast from these experiences. But I think it's important to share them because my students suffer a lot, you know? So I share my experience so they realize that this is normal. These are things that happen. Thank you, Christine. These are things that happen when you are working in your second or third language, and you just need to recover fast. And you need to understand that people who make these comments just, you know, they're speaking from a really serious place of ignorance. CCE, having an accent, that's a comment from somebody who is not bilingual. Yeah, exactly, CC. Exactly. Okay, Hema, does it happen to you that you mix some words on several languages in your brain? Yeah, totally. My goodness. And when especially like when I go to a running race, because you're stressed and I'm working really hard physically in a running race, I get totally confused. So like if somebody gives me water in Spain, maybe I'm going to say thank you in, and then I say I'm like kusunum sepan or kusi, and then I'm like, Vicky, what the hell did you say to this person? I said like thank you in Hungarian, but then I'm gone running because your brain is so stressed, and obviously the blood is circulating in your body so you can run. All my blood is in my legs, you know, in my heart, and there's no blood in my brain. So you make these crazy mistakes, you know? Hey! Oh, that's so cute, Christine. That's the first time I think I've gotten a crown. Yeah, so really funny things happen, you know, like, and in really funny situations as well. Yeah, so you just have to laugh at me all the time, Hema, all the time. Like crazy things have happened. I will tell you guys little stories, you know, but like you shouldn't feel bad ever. Crazy things happen with language. Irina, as for me, I don't care if someone has an accent. It's important to understand people and be able to, exactly, Irina, totally agree. In fact, guys, when I got my first job when I was what age was I? Hang on, wait a second. I was 16, I think. 15 or 16, I got my first job. It was in like a convenience store. And I was working in the sandwich making department and the butchers. So I needed to make sandwiches or give people meat or whatever. And there was a guy working there called Louis. They called him Louis, but his name was Luis. He was Spanish from the south of Spain. So, and he was in Ireland. He was a hotel manager, but he came to Ireland to learn English. So I was like 15 or 16, and Louis, I guess, was like, I don't know, 28 maybe or 30. But I remember he had like brown skin, brown eyes, brown hair. He was so handsome. I was like besotted. I was so in love. So every day or week, I would check the roster to see if I was working with Louis. And I was most days working with Louis. He was so cute. And the day that he told me he was leaving to go back to Spain, I cried. And he gave me on a piece of paper his address, but I don't know where it is. I lost it so many years ago. And I couldn't imagine in the future going to find Louis in Spain. You know, I don't know where he is. If Louis is watching this TikTok, tell him he can contact me. He was so cute. But my point is, Louis was speaking in English to everybody and obviously spoke English, but he had a Spanish accent, okay? And that was one of the special things about Louis, you know, was his name, the fact that he had brown skin, brown eyes, he was from Spain with a speaking English but with a Spanish accent. This made Louis like super cool, you know? If he had spoken English with a perfect Irish accent, he wouldn't have been as cool as he was, you know? So sometimes your accent, you need to own it, you know? Because you're the cool person speaking in your second or third language. To hell with the accent. In fact, I think the accent even makes it a bit cooler, you know? Personally, I think. Cole, some parents would say they need to clean the mouth out with soap. Yes, they would. I think though my parents, they're both Irish, they are the ones who need their mouths to be cleaned out. Swearing classes on Vicky's website cost extra €50. You would be so surprised how many of my students have asked me to teach them about swearing, eh? I should charge an extra, yeah. Christine, and that makes awesome, Christine, thanks. Are they using the colours of their clothing to symbolize an Arab Israeli citizen without his consent? I'm not sure what you mean there with this Arabic comment. Hema, I want you to hear me talking so you can tell me. Saska, I love Sofia Varga's accent. Exactly, Saska! Sofia Varga is amazing. She's so beautiful, so funny, so witty, and her accent is fantastic. That makes her more special, you know? So I don't know why people want to get rid of their accent. I do. I understand. But like for me, I think it's really cool. Flavio. Os outros soportam. We love all nations. Yeah, Brazil loves all nations. Is that true? I've heard recent. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to make any more comments about other countries. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Anna Maria saying my English accent is very strong, Eastern European accent. Ah, yeah. Cole, Christine is a generous gifter. Emma's laughing. Let me see. Mr. Foster, life is like a box of. Mr. Foster, we say life is like a box of chocolates, not sweets. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump. Hema. That happens to me between English and Spanish, yeah. And my dog is now polyglotta. Your dog is polyglotta, yeah. Life is like a box of chocolates, exactly. You never know what you're going to get. That's it, Mr. Foster. Yeah, Hema. German, French. I feel so bad when it happens. Don't feel bad. It's cool. I have students who speak multiple languages. One girl, she speaks Bambara, one lady. Bambara, French, English, some Russian, some Italian. I think she understands a bit of Catalan. 6, okay? And she's always confused. And I think it's incredible. And when I was in her house a few times and she jumps from speaking Bambara to French to English to Spanish, and I'm like, oh, wow. And then I'm sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry. That's amazing. You know, Julita, Vicky, can your classes focus on preparation for an exam test like TOEFL? Which I don't give classes on TikTok specifically for TOEFL. They would have to be individual classes, okay? Unless you can get a group of 4 people who want to do TOEFL, then I could do a small class. Suddenly that is my name. Lamai, hey, is it an accent or clear pronunciation? I feel like they are often confused. I agree, Lamai. Yeah, I agree. Hello, Hakino Canada. Hello, Hema. All right, Hema, that's cool. Mr. Foster, I took a couple of classes from Oxford professor and he also offered to teach me a swearing in exam. Yeah, I refused, no regrets. Okay. Thanks a lot. Okay, cool. Awesome. Hema, cool. Okay. Vicky, sometimes lets us join the lives at the end. Yeah, I do. Anna's as, what's the best piece of advice you could give to learn more languages? Just be consistent, Anna. Just be consistent. Yeah, Christine, watch movies, but be consistent. Anything you do, but you must be consistent. There's no magic pill. You just need to do it. It doesn't have to be every day, but it needs to be every week. The same as running or the same as going to the gym. It needs to be every week. You need to do something every week. Thank you, Hema. Cole, but she has not heard my voice before. Not yet. We are waiting, Cole. We're waiting to hear your voice. I bet you're totally fluent. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. So the last point now for today is a C1 rule to remember. So do not simply learn run is intransitive, move transitive. It's too simplistic. Learn the verb together with its particular meaning and grammatical pattern. Run every morning is intransitive. Run a company is transitive. Move abroad, intransitive. Move furniture, transitive. Leave at 6, intransitive. Leave your bag somewhere is transitive. Manage somehow is intransitive, and manage a department is transitive. So at C1, the real question is therefore not simply is this verb transitive or intransitive? It is, what does this verb mean in this particular sentence, and does that particular use require an object? And that's why this is C1 and not B2. Okay? Now we're on to the quiz. Let me see. Mia, hello. Did you search? I searched. I'm following her on Instagram, Mia. She's really cool. I like her. I love her music as well. I'm following her on Instagram now. She seems really cool. Yeah. You're really nice, Mia. I did. I followed her. Cool. You couldn't possibly. Okay. Cool. So, transitive and intransitive quiz, right? Question 1. Which sentence contains an intransitive verb followed by a prepositional... No, Cole, I can't zoom in. I know you're only trying to catch me out. Okay. Which sentence contains an intransitive verb followed by a prepositional phrase rather than a direct object? Okay, so is it A, the committee addressed several concerns during the meeting? B, the company reassured its investors about the proposed takeover? C, the researchers identified a number of unexpected variables? And D, several complications arose during the procedure. Am I the boy who cried wolf? I really can't read it. I don't believe you. I think you can. Guys, can everybody read this? I think Cole is pulling my leg. He's the boy who cried wolf. Or did you just want to test out that phrase because I said wolf down today? Trust me, Vicky, no. Fool me twice, shame on me. Okay? An elephant never forgets. I would never pull, you would pull. I think you definitely would pull my leg. You have done before. Okay? Innocent? Okay. I'll be the judge of that, or we'll be the judge of that. Thank you, Mr. Foster. Good job. Well done. Mr. Foster has it. That's the answer, guys. Several complications arose during the procedure. That's exactly it. Because in this case, you need to have an object. Okay, so this is transitive, this is transitive, this is transitive. Okay, so the only one there that's intransitive is D. There's no object. Okay. Cole, I think you're biting off more than you can chew there. So, on to number 2. Which sentence uses improve transitively? A, the new treatment significantly improved the patient's condition. B, the patient's condition improved significantly overnight. C, relations between the two departments gradually improved. Or D, the situation has improved considerably since last year. Okay, what do you think? Which sentence uses improve transitively? So transitively, remember guys, you need an object. Okay, you need an object. That's what I thought, Alina. Yeah, the first one was difficult, okay? The first one was difficult. Good job, Cece, you got it. Ceci, good job. Diana, Mr. Foster, well done. It's A, exactly. The new treatment significantly improved the patient's condition, exactly. Okay, so we have here the patient. There's our object, okay, that we need. Yes, Cole, because this is the third class in this block. So it's a bit tricky to understand this if you didn't attend the previous classes, you know. But they're all on YT. Question 3. Which sentence cannot normally be transformed into the passive? We spoke about this yesterday. The committee rejected the proposal unanimously. B, the organisation offered employees additional training. C, the negotiations collapsed after several hours. Or D, the investigators identified serious inconsistencies in the evidence. Okay. Let's see. Can you explain why the rest isn't the answer? Okay, Christine. See. See. Awesome, guys. Well done. Sam, you are correct. Ceci, correct. Irina, good job. Anna, good job. Viridiana, good job. Saska, nice. Sociedadimas, you got it. It was C. Well done, guys. Nice one. Okay. This is because there's no object. Okay, so if there's no object, we can't make a passive sentence. Okay, Christine? Here's the answer. Collapse is intransitive in this sentence. The negotiations in the subject and there is no direct object. An ordinary passive cannot therefore be formed because there is no object available to become the new subject. Okay, good job, Cole. You got it. Okay, that's the reason, Christine. All right. I explained this a lot yesterday. If you're still confused, I recommend looking at the recordings from yesterday's 2 classes. Okay? Cole? No. Okay? Cole would like me to scroll down so that I show you the answer. He would like to peek at the answer. A bit more to the bottom, please. No. No. Okay? You're a desperate chancer. Number 4, which sentence contains both an indirect object and a direct object? A, the applicants submitted their documents before the deadline. B, the organisation offered employees additional training. C, the employees responded to the announcement immediately. Or D, the training programme benefited inexperienced employees considerably. Okay. Oh, it's purely coincidental. Okay. No, he's been like this since the very beginning, Christine. I think it's just his personality. He's just a chancer. And he's only trying to wind the teacher up, I think. So, which sentence contains both an indirect object and a direct object? So, the applicants submitted their documents before the deadline. The organisation offered employees additional training. The employees responded to the announcement immediately. You think I have the wrong person? Okay. All right. It's actually, the answer was, it's a very tricky one, yeah. The answer is B. The answer is B. Is it a TOEFL question, Neko? Mina, the answer was B. Why? So, employees is the indirect object, the people receiving something. Okay, so the employees are receiving what's being offered. Additional training is the direct object, the thing being offered. This structure can produce two passive alternatives. Employees were offered additional training and additional training was offered to the employees. Okay, good job, Cole, well done. I thought it was B, but you hesitated, Mr. Foster. Okay, it's not inversion really, Jacob. It's just a passive with two objects, okay? Don't hesitate, try no matter what, okay? Okay, the explanation helps out. Okay, Christine, cool. Question 5. Which pair demonstrates, I'm going to put this down here so it's clearer. Which pair demonstrates how the same verb can change both its transitivity and its meaning? So A, she runs every morning. She runs a multinational company. B, she apologized immediately or she apologized sincerely. C, the accident occurred yesterday or the accident occurred at midnight. D, the situation deteriorated rapidly or the situation deteriorated unexpectedly. Yeah, Cole. Sometimes you can learn a lot. Mr. Foster, advice is uncountable and the noun is spelt with a C, not an S. Okay? Yeah, I heard something today on TikTok actually. It's better to try something sooner than you know it, make a mistake, and then correct it. It's easier for your brain to remember. Object ended by ly. Adverbs end with ay. Yeah, good job, Alina, Saska, Viririana, Mina, Mr. Foster, Cole, Anna Maria. Good job. Anna, good job. Well done. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, she runs every morning. She runs a multinational company. Brilliant. Yeah, Cole, totally agree. Okay, question 6. I'm going to put this all together on the same page too. Following a serious data breach, a company introduces additional security procedures specifically to make certain that customer information remains protected. Which sentence expresses this meaning most precisely? A, the company reassured customer information by introducing additional. The company assured customer information of additional protection. C, the company reassured customers that additional safeguards existed. Or D, the company introduced additional safeguards to ensure the confidentiality of customer information. Okay, so which sentence expresses this meaning most precisely? Let's see. Awesome, Christine. The no judgment class. Absolutely, Cole. Here, there's no judgment. That's actually on my website. It's from Mother Teresa. It says, if you are judging others, you have no time to love them. Hello, Loana. Loana, you are correct. The answer is D. Good job, Loana. Catherine, good job. Mina, good job. Christine, good job. Irina, nice. Mr. Foster, Anna Maria, brilliant. It was D. The answer is D. The company introduced additional safeguards to ensure the confidentiality of customer information. Awesome. Okay. So, ensure means to make a particular result, condition, or outcome certain. Here, the company takes action to produce the desired outcome, confidentiality. Assure and reassure normally take people rather than outcomes as their object. You thought it was C? Grammatically, that is correct. But they existed before this. They didn't exist before. They brought in new ones. So, yeah. But grammatically, it was correct. But it just doesn't fit the context because they were brought in recently. They didn't exist before. Okay. Number 7. A group of investors are extremely anxious about rumors that a company is about to collapse. The CEO makes a statement specifically intended to reduce their anxiety. Which verb best completes the sentence? All right, cool, no problem. The CEO, investors that the company's financial position remained stable. Is it A, ensured, B, reassured, C, occurred, or D, arose? There you go. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. The CEO. Oh my God. Anna Maria, good job. Mr. Foster, good job. Christine, well done. Bilal, good job. Alina, Cole, Nadia, Mina, Rach, Miro, good job, guys. It was B. Well done. That's it. It was reassured. The CEO reassured investors that the company's financial position remained stable. Awesome. Brilliant. Well done. Okay. And the last one now is number 8. Let me put this all down on this next page so we can see. Yeah, maybe here. No. So which sentence contains a transitive verb with a direct object? A, the negotiations collapsed unexpectedly. B, several difficulties arose during the project. C, the audience reacted enthusiastically. Or D, the committee addressed the problem immediately. Reassured means to give a guarantee. Yes, Irina, reassured means to give a guarantee. Check the video yesterday, and I'm also going to upload a video today. I've already recorded it on TikTok. I just need to put the caption about reassure. But yes, reassure is guarantee, Irina, exactly. Yeah, I think everybody got it right. Sammy, you can call after, okay? You can call after. Good job, Cole, Daisy, Mr. Foster, Loana, 111, Miro. You got the hang of it in the end, Cole? Awesome. Viririana, good job. Saska, nice. Ra, good job. Hello, Sammy. Kenichi, good job. Miro, Alina, awesome. Anna, awesome. Cici, Dulce. Your mental health, awesome. Good job. My interpretation is committee is one of your favorite words. Yeah, committee is one of my favorite words. I'm gonna have to call today. Oh my, I had a hard time understanding this one. Yeah, Irina, good job. Well done. Good job. Brilliant, guys. Yeah, that was it. Okay. The committee addressed the problem immediately. Super duper. That's it for that. Now, I'm reading a book at the moment. The heck is a book? And I wrote down some really nice vocabulary. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the vocabulary tomorrow, but like burgeoning, for example. Burgeoning, to make huge strides. Malady, crippling. Flagrantly was number 5. Yes, in a myopic way. I really liked that as well. Reading is really good for your vocabulary, eh? To have a bearing on something. To be out of touch with, that's a bit easier. To wipe out was another one. I got a lot of this. Yeah, it's a really, really good book. It's a book by a neurologist. The time has come. To be detrimental. Yeah, there was some nice ones that I saw. Yeah, a fellow that I saw. And we have a little bit of speaking left over, which I didn't want to forget. Maybe we can do 1 or 2 questions today. Let me see. This was about the nature versus nurture. If I go down here to the end, to this one, maybe we can do 2 questions today and then we'll leave it at that because I should go to the book. Which book is it? I don't know if it's a collection of books by a guy. It's called Grain Brain, Anna. Grain Brain. They're really good. How Daniel, you can look at the videos on YouTube if you don't know what a transitive. Yeah, Mr. Foster, committee comes up a lot, does it? Anna Grain Brain. I'm going to write the name of the book for you. The Grain Brain. It's like a series. I'm really interested. Cole, time to peak. I could not take SS. What's SS? And a solicitor also comes across, yeah. Well, I guess I would have been a solicitor if I kept working in Ireland. Maybe that's why. Cole, it comes on a tape delay when Vicky has time to post it. All right, Anna. Okay, thanks. Hello, White Diamond. Hey. All right, guys. So we were speaking about nature versus nurture. So I think we've done these two already. So let's look at this one. If a child has a genetic predisposition towards a particular behavior, should this affect how parents or teachers treat them? Yes. So a genetic predisposition towards a particular behavior. Do you think this should affect how parents treat them? SS is screenshot, Christine. Yeah? What was the sentence? I could not take a screenshot. Oh yeah, Mina. Yeah, you couldn't take a screenshot. I think no calls today, Mr. Foster, because I should go soon. Okay? But you can write in the comments if you want in the chat. Why do some people overcome extremely difficult childhoods? This is a good question. Look. Why do some people overcome extremely difficult childhoods while others grow up in apparently supportive environments, struggle later in life? This reminds me of a story. There was a guy, him and his brother grew up and their father was an alcoholic. And one of the brothers became an alcoholic and the other brother became a really successful businessman. So the successful brother was interviewed and the interviewer asked him, how did you become successful, And he said, well, my father was an alcoholic. So because of that, I never drank alcohol or got involved in that type of lifestyle. And he said that was why he became successful. On the other hand, his brother became an alcoholic and was definitely not successful. And his brother said, well, I became an alcoholic because my father is an alcoholic. So some children, they overcome these difficult childhoods and others are kind of a victim of a difficult childhood, What do you guys think? And Cole is saying tape delays when you are uploading just when you can to the YouTube after it happened. Okay, cool. So I'm listening to different participants' opinions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mina, you agree? Yeah. Maybe it's a difficult question. Alcoholism is predisposed in genetics. That's absolute truth. Yeah, Anna, it's a very complicated topic. €100 and I will be on voice chat one day. Okay, guys. If everybody here can pay 50 cents, we can get Cole to participate in the speaking practice. Yeah, referring to what success. It's a question up for debate. Exactly. Okay. All right, guys. Maybe we'll leave it there for today. Okay, because it is 6:10 here. And I'm going to go to the beach for a little bit. You have not, I think. Okay. All right, Christine. Lovely to have you guys. Guys, there are 4 places in the C1 class. If anybody would like to be in those speaking classes in September, they can let me know in the DM. Okay? But it's true that I have to be really strict about the level. So it needs to be 4 people who have a very similar level because it's hey, that was so cool. Thank you, Christine. That's so awesome. We need to have 4 people with the levels because it's not comfortable if we have people with very different levels in the group. Okay? Mina, it depends on the person's own choice. Totally, Mina, yeah. Depends on their choice. Cole, I am a beginner. Cole, I have no classes for beginners, unfortunately, sorry. You'll have to wait until next year. Mr. Foster, would you enroll me to B2 or C1? Tell me the truth, Vicky, no offense. When do I not tell the truth? You would definitely be in C1, upper C1. Okay? Christine, I chose that gift because it's orange. Oh, Christine! That's so sweet. Cole, no, I don't believe you, Cole. Are you crazy? What do you take me for? Okay. All right, guys. So I love you and leave you, okay? I hope I can get the videos that I recorded today. I hope I can edit them and put them on TikTok. Maybe from the beach I will be able to do it. Cole, I take you for a very passionate, happy teacher. I don't know. Thanks, Cole. Okay?